Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch, and today we have a new humble bundle of interest to game developers. This is the Nature Manufacture Asset Bundle. It is a collection of Unity assets from the maker Nature Manufacture, a ton of environments like what you see in front of you. This is a mountain environment. All of the 3D assets you need to create this kind of biome are in the pack. You'll notice it's photorealistic-ish. A lot of it are real scans of environments. Everything here is prefab, but the thing is, even if you aren't using the Unity game engine, everything you see here for the most part is just assets. So you can rip these out and use them in whichever game engine you want. So even if you're a Godot or Unity or Unreal Engine developer, this should be of use to you. But obviously, it's going to work best in the Unity because all the prefabs are there. And there are a couple of tools in this bundle that are specific to Unity, such as, for example, the tool being used to create these rivers. We will see that in just a second. Here, let's do a quick overview of this particular asset itself. So again, all entirely modular. Now, if you do not know how these humble bundles work, it's a collection of stuff, in this case, 3D assets, organized into a theme. In this case, I guess environments or 3D environments. Organized into tiers, you decide how your money is allocated between humble, charity, the publisher, and if you so choose. And thank you so much if you do to help support Game From Scratch. So you can see this environment comes with a number of different materials and textures. We've got prefab rocks all ready to go. And if you're working in a different environment, you can just basically bring these out as FBX files, and then you just have to recreate the materials for each, but you're also getting all of the texture files in their source formats. So this is one of the actually many assets in this particular bundle. So let's go take a look at another one. This one is a little bit more Unity specific. This is the tool that is being used to make the rivers in that other example. The nice thing about all of these assets is they are for all of the major pipelines. So it comes with tools for HDRP and the universal render pipeline in addition to the standard render pipeline. At least all of the ones I tested did have that functionality. So what you see here is these rivers being generated. They are what the kind of the star of the show on this one. If you animate it, you're going to see the water cresting on the shore and so on. But if I come down here, I select the rivers, you'll notice I can actually select a river spline. So here we go. So this river over here is being, here, let's grab this one right here. You'll see a variety of different control points. If I grab a particular control point of the spline, we can move the river around. We can change its orientation and so on. So this is a tool specifically for creating river materials. There is the equivalent for creating lava materials as well. You're also getting a number of other environments. One other such environment, for example, is this Pbr Graveyard pipe environment. So as you can see here, there's imports here for the HD and the universal render pipeline, and out of the box, it works with the standard pipeline. So no matter which way you go, there is something there for you. So let me just open up the Graveyard. So here is the Graveyard example. So this is another asset pack in here. We've also got asset packs for doing things like forest environments, meadow environments. We got rock packs. We even have foliage packs because, of course, we do. So you see here, this is all of the assets used to create a cemetery type environment. So we got some crypts, and we got some mausoleums, and we got some gravestones, and we got some, what is it, cairns? So we've got quite a bit going on in this particular bundle. Once again, almost all of these do have an overview type bundle, so you can see the various different assets that are ready to go. Everything is modular, so you can sort of build it together to create, you know, an infinite variety. It would also work well with procedural animation type plugins and extensions. So if you need to have a ton of crypts, they got you covered in this particular asset. And that's pretty typical of this whole pack. There is a lot going on. They all work together here too as well. We got some special effects packs in here too. So that's kind of the hands-on portion. Let's go jump through and take a look at what actually makes up this bundle, because there is a lot. And for a nice change, the $1 tier has actually got quite a bit of value in it. So the $1 tier, by the way, you buy a high dollar value tier, you get all the tiers below it. So if you buy the mid tier, you get all the $1 tier. You buy the $25 tier, you get all of the above. So the top tier here, we've got the the cheap tier, the $1 tier, you get the park photo scanned assets. Again, it's a bunch of stuff that you would use in a park environment, a lot of fountains, wrought iron fences, light posts, that kind of stuff. Then you get the Train Stitcher. This is an asset for hooking various pieces of terrain together. I think this might have been somewhat obsoleted by recent Unity terrain advancements if you're using one of the newest versions of Unity, but if you're using an older version, this is for basically connecting different areas together to make seamless transitions between your different chunks of terrain. Next up, we have, why are you not responding? Come on. Here we go. We get the Winter Ground Pack. Again, it's an environments type asset for creating winterish environments. Then we get the Landscape Ground Pack 2. Again, another thing for creating terrains. It contains 128 ground floor textures. So a lot of times these ground packs are textures for creating those sort of environments. You get another set here. Again, this one contains 163 ground and floor tiles. And then finally, you get the Lava and Volcano Environment 2019. So if you need to create, again, a volcanic environment or lava flows, that is what this one is all about. So that is the end of the $1 tier. Now we get the average price tier, the median tier. Here you're getting the Mountain Trees Dynamic Nature Pack. So again, a number of different trees and packs in here. The nice thing is they literally support pretty much every version of Unity you can imagine. And they also support all the major pipelines, which is definitely nice when it comes to these kind of assets. Next up, we get the Dynamic Nature Starter Pack. So this is, again, for multiple seasons of nature, a bunch of prefabs there for creating that kind of stuff. We get the VR Hands and FP Arms Pack. I don't understand why this one is in, to be honest. But if you need hand models for your game, it's part of here as well. Then we get the Fire and Smoke Dynamic Nature Pack, a bunch of particle effects for doing flame and smoke effects in your world. You get the Advanced Foliage Pack 2.0. Again, there's a lot of foliage in this particular bundle. This one puts it all together. So here you're talking about, shrubs, grass, that kind of stuff. So if you need to populate a world, that is what this pack is all about. Next up, we get the Advanced Rock Pack. I think that one is pretty straightforward. It is a bunch of rocks. So again, if you're creating realistic world environments, this bundle definitely has you covered. There's just a huge variety of things in there. We also get the Ice World Pack. This one is mostly shaders for doing things like realistic ice and snow environments and biomes. Could definitely be useful if that makes sense to your requirements. We get the Pbr Graveyard and Nature set. We saw this one literally in action earlier on. So it's a bunch of stuff. You want to add the creepies to your world. And then we get the meadow environment, dynamic nature, meadow, so grasslands, low-lying trees, shrubberies. We've got logs and rocks and such that you would find in a typical meadow environment, including some things like fence posts and so on. I think there is a overview shot right here. Nope, I guess not. But you get the idea of, again, all modular, all ready to go. And if you're using Unity, everything is in prefab format. You can literally just drop into place. And that is the middle tier. So now we're moving on to the $25 tier. And at this level, you're getting everything we already talked about, plus the forest environment. So again, if you're creating you go from meadow to forest to mountain, you've got all of the various different things covered. So different kinds of trees, different kinds of rocks, the kind of stuff that you got a bit more cloud cover that you would see on the ground. Again, pretty straightforward in the kind of stuff you're getting. And then you're getting some environmental props here too, like walkways and fences and planks and stuff to build. And again, this is basically just a giant Lego kit for creating world environments. We also get the Autumn Valley, so you get different seasons here. So you're getting a little bit more of the, the greenery changing. Also notice you have roads in here as well. So pretty straightforward pack there if you need to create for the different seasons. Again, we also have the winter pack in there as well. Then we have the River Valley. Is this the one I showed right away? I'm not sure, but again, you can see how to create river environments. Again, more trees, more rocks, more grasses, and so on. After that, you get a world streamer. So if you are working in Unity and you're creating very, very large environments, this is a way of making that work together. So it's a memory streaming and organization system. You're able to stream your whole game from disk in any axis and space, or simply change background of your scene into low poly representations. You are able to create endless space games, 2D platformers, third person, cloud point viewers, etc. So if you need to have gigantic worlds, you sort of stitch it together as you go. World Streamer 2 is all about that. Obviously, this one is only useful to Unity developers. Then we've got the RAM. That's the River Auto material. We saw that one. So this is for creating realistic rivers in the world. Again, it used that spline control system. We saw this one very briefly in action in that earlier demo. So if you need to add water, it's actually really kind of complements all the other packs that we saw here. And there's also, again, an equivalent for lava environments as well. And then a final asset we have is the Mountain Environment pack. And this is the one that I showed in action. So again, a bunch of modular assets for creating that particular biome. So here you've got let's see, winter environments, autumn environments, summer environments, mountain, forests, meadow, graveyard, various different foliage packs, some smoke special effects, the starter kit, which is kind of a catch-all of things, mountainous trees, a bunch of different terrains for the ground, some scanned park items, and so on. So you got a decent collection of assets for creating just about any kind of natural environment setting for you. And again, for just about anything you see here. So for example, I come back over here and we'll take a look in this Pbr Graveyard set. You're going to see under models, any one of these things. This here, it's just an FBX. So if you want to use it in another environment, you basically are going to just have to clone out that FBX. You'd literally just drag and drop it into your other engine. So I could go here, Show and Explorer, everything we're looking at, they're all just FBX files. Ignore the meta files, grab the FBX files, and you can use those in whatever engine you want. The only challenge you're going to have, you're not going to have materials like what you have defined in the Unity game engine. Instead, what you're going to have to do is take the texture files, which again are in Targa format in this particular case. So you just take those files over to your other thing, and you have to recreate the material. That's the extent of your work, and you may be able to get your FBX import to automatically pull in the appropriate things if you put them in the right directory and so on. So all of these things are basically just FBX files. So again, you can use these in pretty much whatever game engine you wish. But if you are working with Unity, obviously this will work extremely well because you are also getting, for every single one of these, you're going to find an HD and ERP folder, and that's got a separate set of assets that sort of just basically you import these over the project, and then you're getting pipeline support for that particular pipeline, which is also very nice. So definitely a nice pack. The $1 tier is a huge value, but the whole thing overall, 25 bucks. If you're needing to create 3D environments for nature or landscape, definitely a good pickup. Let me know what you think. Comments down below, and I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.